Old Men Stories, heading into the universe. I think we have some real magic and mystery today.
Now, normally in Old Men Stories, we tend to tell stories which are true. Things that have happened to us. I'm going to bend the rules slightly and tell a story about a story that I told. Specifically, when I was working with some kids, every week they decided that they liked hearing not necessarily bedtime stories, but nap time stories. And the teacher got this idea of having the kids that she had as from 5th grade monitors tell a story to the kindergartners. And they said, "We want a story about camping." And I said, "Okay." And since it was kind of Halloween, I said, "This is going to be a little bit of a scary story here." And I said, "Hey, there I was, out in the woods by myself, and I'd gotten lost on the way back to the tent." And I said, "I really wish the batteries on my flashlight had not gone out." Fortunately for me, I was carrying matches. So I went and I got some dried wood that I found in a nice little pile by the side of the road, and I built myself a little fire. I figured it was cold, it was dark, I'll get myself warm by the fire, and then I'll eventually make my way back to the camp. Or worst case scenario, I'll wait until morning and then make my way back when it's light. And as I sat there on this cold October night with the fire just barely getting started, I heard this voice in the trees. "Who disturbs my slumber?" I said, "What was that? Who's out there?" "Who disturbs my slumber?" I said, "Not me." And the kids looked at me with these terrified eyes. Someone asked, "Jeff, what kind of monster was that?" And I said, I did not know what kind of monster it was at the time because it was dark and I didn't have a flashlight and all I had were the flickering lights from the campfire. And again, the voice said, "Who disturbs my slumber?" And I decided, rather than wait for it to come catch me in the act of waking it up, I decided to run. And I went running away, crackling through the leaves and running with the wind at my back. And I could swear that whatever that monster was breathing down my neck. And wouldn't you know it, because of the way of things to get lost in the woods, I thought I'd found my way back to the camp because there was light up ahead. I said, "Great, it's the campfire over the camp." I got back into a clearing. Guess where I was? I'd run in a circle. And I was back at the little itty-bitty fire that I was at, which just went out. And it was pitch black. And again, the voice came really, really close, right next to my ear. "Who disturbs my slumber?" And I said, "Okay, I admit it. It was me." And the voice said, "Stop making noise." Now, this kind of confused me. And I pulled out another match and lit it. And there, sitting on top of the pile of wood, was this little field mouse. And then I understood that the mouse was actually saying, "Who disturbs mice lumber?" And it was just a matter of the logs amplifying the mouse's voice. I guess you could say it was a mouse that roared.
Old Men Stories returning to Earth from a phenomenal